Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the American Horror Story, Season 3, Episode 4, Fearful Pranks Ensue. I'm your host, Dom. With me, I have my co-host, Mike.
You're that way. Aha, I got it right this time. Hi.
How are you tonight?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Probably not as good as Umikins, who's currently sick, right?
She's sick with the flu.
Yeah.
And I made her husband soup.
Husband soup. What is? I don't even want to know what is in that. If it has anything to do with what we saw last week on American Horror Story through the baby gravy. So
to remind me of that pair of scissors that's from the knife set gonna gouge my eyeballs out.
Baby gravy. Oh,
no, it has nothing to do with that. It was chicken noodle soup. Nothing more, nothing less.
Keep telling yourself that.
I ate 2 bowls of it. I'm gonna go puke now.
So, how did Umi react to the intro and the outro of this episode?
Not well. For some backstory here, she's afraid of zombies. It's an innate fear of hers, even though it's not a real thing, but that's just something that always gives her the heebie-jeebies and nightmares. So she just was like, oh, this was the greatest friggin' episode to watch ever. Raging at the end of this, and this is after watching 2 and part of the 3rd season of Walking Dead to catch up for this podcast. Zombies everywhere. I thought maybe she was finally numbing herself a little bit to them, but no such luck.
Apparently not.
No.
So, yeah. I know she's been struggling through The Walking Dead, and then all of a sudden she gets them thrown at her in this episode, so I can only imagine what her reaction was to that.
Double shows.
So, aside from the zombies, we had the butler. We got a little bit of more backstory around Spaulding. And he was kind of having this awkward tea party when the whole murder of Madison was happening.
I thought nothing of it. Tea party. I thought it was a little weird. Grown man with no tongue having a tea party, and then all of a sudden he's disturbed by loud noises, goes downstairs just in time to see Madison get her throat cut, which is instant replay to the 70s for him.
Yeah. So what did you think about his backstory in general?
Well, I liked it. It's some good information given about him. He was the butler there. He used to speak. You want me to give the whole thing now? Because
we can get to it a little later, but
yeah. Mostly we see that he was, the butler in this place, and he always kind of had a thing for Fiona, be it, love interest, or I think he actually admitted he loved her at one point. I don't remember. But he was always fond of Fiona.
Yeah, so, alright, we get shortly after Madison's death, we have the Witch Council. They arrive. We finally get to meet them, and they're quite the peculiar bunch. One of which we knew already. We met her very, very early in the first episode. She was the one that was, involved with bringing Zoe to the school. So, what did you think of the 2 other members of the council that we had not got to meet yet?
Well, you couldn't find 3 more differing personalities, I think. They all seem... I haven't seen enough of the other lady. But, one, I thought this coven was all women, but now we have a warlock and they're a man, so that threw that illusion out the window for me.
Right.
But if you want a council to deliberate and decide on things, this would be a decent council to have, because they all are 3 different personalities.
Right.
So,
which is good for a council.
Oh yeah, you don't want 3 people who think identical, because then
so
crazy shit happens.
They show up at the door, and Cordelia is trying to explain the situation that happened with Queenie, who we found out she's alive, after being attacked by the Minotaur. And the first thing she does when the council, oh, you must be here for what happened with Queenie. And they're like, no. And then she's like, oh, well, you guys must be here for the fact that I went to go to...
Voodoo witches.
Yeah. The voodoo witches, and they're like, no.
Well, how about we sit down? We'll get to that.
Yeah, so Do you think she just has a problem with not keeping her mouth shut?
I think she's overly nervous and is just digging herself a really big hole at this point. And Fiona came in and basically told her, "Shut up before you bury yourself here."
Yeah. Jasper's squirming around over here. Say hi to the
Kitty.
camera, bud.
Hi, Jasper. Wave. Kitty that gives no shits.
He doesn't. He gives 0. But, no, the other cats are clawing at the door. They want in. They can't win tonight. So, where were we?
We were talking about Cordelia blabbing her mouth off and telling the council 2 more things that she screwed up that they had no idea about it.
Right. So, if they weren't so distracted with where Madison was, because that's what they originally came for, was Madison.
Yep.
Do you think they would have made all this other stuff a much bigger deal?
They wouldn't have showed up in the first place for the other stuff. But, I mean, if they weren't as distracted, yeah, they probably would have made a really huge deal about the other stuff. With, Queenie getting attacked by a undead man-beast concoction of voodoo magic. Or, what was the other thing that happened?
Queenie?
Brain. Queenie, that's what I was talking about. She got attacked. Oh, and her going to see the voodoo witch for, a fertility spell.
Right.
So, we would have probably paid more attention to that. But, I mean, Nan called and said she can't hear Madison's thoughts anymore and believes that she's dead. So.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
And so, yeah, and that makes me think Nan, because she must be close to these girls, must have, some unlimited range on her, clairvoyance or telepathy, because the, how does she know that Madison just didn't leave the house and not come home?
Right.
So she must be able to hear their thoughts from way far away.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Let's see, what do we have? We have Marie. She declared that the truce between the Voodoo and Salem witches is completely over.
Yeah.
You see some trouble coming?
I see some pretty big no-nos coming, yeah. She declared it over after Fiona sent the head of the Minotaur back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she gets a box, she's all opens it up, and there's the head of the Minotaur, her ex-lover, slave guy from the 18 whatevers, and the head's still alive. It's blinking at her. It was creepy.
That was really creepy. Extremely, extremely creepy.
Because not only is he now a Minotaur beast, but now he's a disembodied head.
Yeah. Yep. So, what the head of the council?
Myrtle. Red-haired crazy. Myrtle.
Myrtle.
Smith.
I'm terrible with names. As any of you who have been watching our series is familiar with, I can't remember anybody's names for crap. But Myrtle seemed she kind of had a personal vendetta with Fiona, and she was trying to figure out. Well, she has it in her mind that Fiona has killed 2 people now, and the butler's in on it and all this stuff, and she accuses Fiona of cutting the butler's tongue out when we actually. It's revealed to us that Spaulding cut his own tongue out to protect Fiona because he's madly in love with her.
Yeah, because in our flashback, I believe that was a young Myrtle, actually. The red-headed head of the Witch Council.
Yes, it was.
That was a young her. She enchanted Spaulding's tongue so that when he was asked a question, he couldn't lie. Brilliant. And he overheard this. So she didn't think anything of it because she didn't know that Spaulding was in love with Fiona and wanted to protect her. So he calls Fiona in and says, "Thank you for coming. I've always loved you. These are going to be my last words." And then she's looking worried, like, what the heck? And he pulls out a razor. She's obviously thinking he's going to kill himself. But then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that gave me the tingles in every wrong place. that scene. That was just, whew.
Yeah, that was a very interesting scene.
I mean, of all the graphic, bloody, and gory crap I've seen on TV and video games and all that stuff, this show just has the perfect ones to make you cringe. Tongue
Very reminiscent of the original Terminator when he takes the spoon to his eye.
Yeah. Oh.
You're welcome.
Disturbing crap like that. Yeah, this was just, tongue cut off with a straight edge razor. Like,
So, speaking of eyes, what about Cordelia getting that liquid splash in her eyes? What exactly was that, and how serious do you think the injury is going to be?
I'm assuming it was some kind of acid, which acid on the skin burns, washed off with water. Acid in the eyeballs. Yeah. See, she was drunk. My initial reaction, aside from the pain, because I'm in a bathroom, and this is just from going through how many chemistry classes and being around, hazardous and toxic liquids my entire life as a mechanic, and things that, are nasty if they get in your eye. My first reaction, if I'm in front of a sink, splashing the eyes, holy crap, this burns. And after the first 3 or 4 seconds of pain, I would have went as quick as I can felt around for the sink, turned on the cold water, and been splashing it in my face as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And she's standing there screaming in pain, and I'm thinking, all right, sink, there, go to the sink, go to the sink, go to the sink. Oh, she's drunk. Damn it. So that was my reaction there. And because she's standing there not doing anything about it, it's going to be some pretty serious damage. If she's not permanently blind, I will be shocked.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. I'd like to see how she's going to start mixing chemicals and whatnot, alchemist stuff with no eyesight.
Maybe because of that, she'll find a way to cure herself.
Definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about Kyle? It almost looked like Zoe is having second thoughts about bringing him back, and looked like she grabbed the rat poison to put in his tuna salad. Do you think she actually put it in there, or what?
They left that kind of ambiguous. She's looking at it, and I think that the next scene they just show her with the bowl going like this, bringing it to him. So either she was just mixing it up so it was well mixed, or she actually did grab the rat poison and put it in there. I don't know. Would rat poison work on a reanimated corpse like that? I don't know what I know, but yeah, I think she is definitely having second thoughts about this. Plus, it really wasn't her idea anyway. It was Madison's in the first place. She just went along with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was a no-no.
And up to this point, Madison was believed to have been the next Supreme. And Cordelia kind of revealed to the Witch Council that was not the case.
Right. She said that the hallmark of the up-and-coming Supreme is glowing, radiant health. And she said that Madison secretly had a heart condition, which she kept monitored and very, very, very secret. But because of that would ixnay all of the, she's the next Supreme rumors. In fact, so Fiona kind of jumped the gun on that one. But, I mean, it's not to say that Madison wasn't a very talented witch. She's manifesting multiple powers.
Right, so who do you think the next Supreme is?
I have a feeling it's going to be Zoe, even though she's only showing one power.
Yeah, you don't think it's Queenie or?
It could be Queenie. It'd be kind of cool if it was Nan, but when they first introduced the topic in the thing of the Supreme, I'm like, it's got to be Zoe, because she's like this reluctant, just thrown into this world witch who she's 16 or 17. Loses her virginity and kills her boyfriend, and all of a sudden, hey, congratulations, you're a witch. Your great-grandmother carried the same curse.
Yeah.
So that kind of whole thing, it would be interesting, is all I'm saying. Is she the next Supreme? This is a long-shot theory of mine, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I think we'll definitely find out some more next episode. But kind of the last big thing is Cordelia's husband.
Yeah.
What is up with him?
Like, oh yeah, honey, he's trying to get like a construction contract or whatever. I think that was it. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be meeting a guy. He's here now, so I'll talk to you later. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Opens the door, and a very young, gorgeous woman is standing there, and it's like, oh, you motherfucker. And then extremely rough sex ensues. Well, not that, extremely rough. There was no beating going on or anything, but yeah. And after that whole thing, she's like, I wonder, you're like a secret agent. They met on a Thomas Kincaid collection lovers website or something.
Yeah, I believe that was the case.
That is like the weirdest thing, but I met my wife playing World of Warcraft, so I can't speak anything. So there's that, and he says he's a USDA inspector, and it takes him all over the country. And she says she's falling for him after making some goofy comments that he's like some kind of secret agent or something. He walks up behind her, pulls out a silenced pistol, and shoots her in the neck and just kills her.
Just cold blood. Just when it was right after she professed her love to him.
So that was either I can't have this kind of attachment in my life, and bang, or he's either a serial killer, actually a secret agent, or I don't know.
If he was a secret agent, what would killing her accomplish?
Maybe she was a subversive. I don't know. Maybe she contributed too much to WikiLeaks, or she was committing sedition, treason.
I don't think he would have revealed himself to be a secret agent if his intentions was to hide the fact that he's a secret agent and then kill her.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what. Maybe he's just crazy.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll most likely find out more next episode, which next episode is called Burn, Witch, Burn. And in it, besieged by Marie Lavue's army, Zoe unleashes a new power. So it's looking like she is the Supreme.
Really? You serious?
Mm-hmm. So Fiona and Myrtle clash over the control of the Coven, and Madame Lalue is confronted by some old ghosts.
Interesting.
So it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot more of the zombie army this next episode. And control of the Coven is that'll be interesting.
That will be
see
very
Myrtle and Fiona go back and forth. They've already had some awesome heated arguments.
Yeah, and really, my thing is, they came here looking for Fiona. If Fiona did murder, if they had proof she murdered the previous Supreme and now she murdered, Madison, what can they do about it? She's the Supreme Witch. She has a lot of power. Do other witchy powers not work on other witches? Because we've seen, Fiona's thrown other witches around all the time with telekinesis. So
Queenie stabbed other witches with her transference.
Yeah. So what do they hope to do to her?
I don't know.
Unless, there's 5 telekinetic witches to overpower her or something. I can't see what they could hope to do to her.
The title is Burn, Witch, Burn. So,
somebody's getting lit on fire.
It looks like Fiona may get lit on fire because she was threatened by Myrtle this past episode with the Book of Matches.
But I remember seeing the preview for next episode. Fiona said something, and then she flicked a cigarette, and it shows a big thing of lighting on fire with somebody tied to it. So I think Fiona's burning somebody.
Could be.
Now I want to see. This show is too good.
Looks like we're going to have to tune in next week to find out.
Well, I'm tuning in next week regardless, but this show is way too good. And it needs to be 3 hours every week.
Yeah. 3 hours every week.
Man. It's like Game of Thrones. It needs to be 3 hours every week.
No.
Still 10 episodes, 3 hours each. Hey, they'd be able to fit everything from the books in, but now I'm getting off topic.
So, where can the people find you?
I have nothing clever. They can find me on Twitter at Philadren, THILADREN.
And you can follow us on youtube.com/ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. See you guys later.
Good night.
Hopefully with Umi and the zombie horde.
Hopefully with Omi and no zombie horde. Oh, I should have said they could find me on the moon.